to Fanatically Correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, G.o.T, and Omega.
I'm just gonna start with one bullet point, one huge bullet point of season 8, episode 2 of Game of Thrones, and that's Ghost. I guess they actually listened to our podcast or something.
Finally.
And I finally got to see Ghost after 2 seasons. I mean, he didn't do anything. He was just sitting there chilling, but at least I saw him.
That's funny.
Yeah, and my watch party, he got a round of applause. Everyone was like, yeah, it's Ghost.
We haven't seen him in I don't know, 3-4 episodes. I mean, last seasons, but I don't remember how long it was. But
yeah, we had someone in our party. But just to get out of the way, we are talking. We're reviewing Game of Thrones again.
Spoilers.
Season 8, episode 2. Full of spoilers. The night is dark and full of spoilers. So beware. You better have seen this episode if you're gonna listen to us talk. I'm your host Omega.
MSK.
Yo, peace.
And what do you guys got? What was the biggest highlight for you? I got some notes here, but
well, first I want to start off, since we're starting off with spoiler warnings. I like how HBO is kind of being very secretive with the titles of the episodes, because they really don't release it until after the episode's already aired.
Yeah, they're being brand cryptic about it.
They're awesome. It's awesome. This episode, I know, Omega, you were trying to figure out what was the name of the episode. The name was Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because it's the... Okay, we could jump into that because it's... But Night with a K or Night with an N?
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, yeah, because it's actually it's going right into that because it's also conveniently episode 69.
Yeah.
But Night with a K, we can get into that first. I think that was the highlight of the episode. I think that was the big emotional moment. Some of the ladies and the watch party I was part of got very misty-eyed. I was not one of those ladies this time, but I respected the emotion of Brienne of Tarth being knighted by none other than Jaime Lannister. Was a very moving moment.
Yep.
And it helped that Tormund was the one that kind of sparked it. He was like, F tradition. He's
right.
like, why not? She should be what she should be. You brought it up, so yeah, get into it. What was your take on that, MSK?
Brienne, I thought it was great. I think that was one of the best scenes in the episode, only because that's something that she's always wanted throughout the whole series, and everyone has kind of been taunting her because how big she is or how ugly she is, and she finally got what she's always wanted, which was to be a knight. And the fact that it was Jaime, it makes it even more meaningful for her.
Yeah, I definitely want to say that. I think, in my point of view, I think it also is the highlight of the actual episode. Was that scene with everything that was happening around it.
I know, especially that moment, the whole drinking buddies, everyone's gathered around the fire, having a sip, sharing a story, sharing a song. Personally, you have something to share, your piece, but I just want to mention that I was glad they didn't also knight Podrick, because that was kind of a thought in my head, like, oh, are they just gonna knight everybody now? Like, it was gonna be one of those scenes, like, I am Spartacus and I am Spartacus, where everyone's now going to be a knight going into this, and they didn't. They had let Brienne
and you got
have her
my
moment.
Sword.
Yes.
And you have my axe.
And my ox.
Yep. Torment. He was breastfed by a giant.
That part was pretty funny. That part was funny.
That story was classic. But yeah, I think I think that was excellent. They didn't knight everybody, and because there was a bit of a worry that they might go that route. The big worry that they didn't is that Brienne's definitely gonna die in the next epised.
I don't think she will. I don't know. What's your take, Yopis? What do you think's gonna happen?
No, I don't think she's. I honestly, we were having discussions about this. I also went to a party. Some people might think that she will end up, I guess, being saved, or like she might some people think that she'll die saving, I guess, Jamie, which is kind of weird. I don't see that happening. Like I think she would take a bullet, but I don't think she'll die. I think she'll end up taking a bullet for someone, but I don't think she'll pass away.
I think it's going to be the other way around, actually. I think Jamie's going to be the one that dies saving Brienne. And that's going to get him back to being like the honorable. That's actually going to be full circle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember a couple of seasons back where Jamie and Brienne had that scene with the Kingsguard journal. Yeah. And Jamie was kind of upset that there wasn't anything good written about him on that journal. That's true. That's right. So I think this is going to come full circle. I think he's going to die being an honorable knight.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's they should have called the episode "Farewell" or "Goodbye" because this is obviously the big goodbye build-up episode. So the next episode, I'm pretty sure it's 88 minutes or 80 minutes, or I believe it's 80 or 88, something around there. It's just gonna be nonstop battling because everyone who's gonna die is saying their goodbyes now. I think it's gonna be Brienne or Jamie, and one of those two. Just like I'm pretty sure Theon will die saving either Sansa or saving Bran. Yeah, because he had his moment with Bran, just like you said. Jamie, his moment with Brienne. Theon had his moment with Sansa and with Bran. So I think Theon's definitely on the chopping block. I got a bad feeling for Mormont. I knew that sword he was getting was going to be Sam's Valyrian steel sword, and we're going to see how that turns out. Because he also had his moment. He was defending Tyrion and saying how he's still the right guy for the job, and and in that room,
I also think Sam is on the block too. Like he's definitely on the chopping block for real.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Sam is. I really think Sam might be someone who gets to the end. I really do like that theory that he's the one. Yeah, I like the theory where he's the one writing the book, A Song of Fire and Ice, and it's him writing about John or John's kid or whatever.
I just feel like they're all going into that crypt, man. They're all going into that crypt, and we talked about it.
That crypt, we know that crypt's the wrong place to be.
Mentioning it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they've mentioned that crypt way too many times this time.
I know.
Oh, I said it. I said it during the episode. The little girl with that had the scar face, that her two brothers were fighters. They should have fight her, and she's like, "No." She goes, "Fine, then I'll be prepared and fight in the crypt." I'm like, "Oh, you might be, and I think you're gonna die in that crypt."
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get my Ned Stark moment, and nobody saw this coming.
Oh, it's definitely gonna happen.
So, side track. I mean, for a second, the other oh wow moment. I think it was weird for most of us. Was what I joked about earlier with Knight with a K or a Knight with an N, which is Arya got her spear from Gendry.
Oh boy!
If you catch my my drift. And I think that was a weird moment for most of us.
Yeah,
because
I didn't think it was weird. I mean,
it was. But she's little Arya Stark. Man.
Yeah, but she's an adult. Look, she's a woman. She's like 21.
I understand that, but anybody watching that series that was about 12 or 13 when they started watching it, not to show you should be watching it 12 or 13, but there's a lot of them, so they're in their late teens.
Yeah, now. Probably not good parenting.
Yeah, exactly. But they kind of grew up with her, so I was like with Alyssa Milano and Who's the Boss, and then she did Charmed, and it's all good, it's like it's but we're like adults, and she was like a little kid, and it's just like weird, like you saw it coming or whatever, but I saw a lot more of her. I mean, it might have been the kind of CGI'd, I'm not sure, but I think I did. Definitely. I still saw more of
I don't think it was CGI. I think it was body double, if anything.
Been. I mean,
I don't know. You saw her face the whole time, so they CGI'd her face.
That's the old school CGI. Whatever it is, it was not her.
Whatever the case, I was watching kind of cringing, but I mean that scene was like you saw it coming though. The moment it started, the gloves are coming.
For sure.
The gloves are coming off. The way she's asking him about how many women and all that. It's like but I mean we knew it the moment from episode 1 last week when she caught his eye. When he caught her eye riding in on the horse. She was like it's immediate. And you already knew they were hinting at it when she told the Hound, I'm not going to spend my last moments with you two,
I like that scene a lot. When she was just sitting with the Hound for a little bit.
Yeah, we wanted that. We didn't get that the first
Yeah.
time. That was more, which makes sense. Look, the first episode was a lot of reacquaintancing, reintroducing,
Right.
and catching up with one another a long time. And this one was the farewell.
The
This one
episode, farewell episode. Right
it
after.
was, yeah. It's making things right before they go really bad.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I like what the Hound
I
said
mean,
in that scene, because he was, he was saying, "Oh, well, I fought for you, didn't I?" And I thought that scene was pretty good.
Yeah. The banter with the Hound is always. I mean, after you see some behind the scenes stuff with that actor, he's really like that.
He's
it's
really
just
the Hound, yeah,
natural.
yeah.
He really is. He's so natural that way. And like when he said that, he's like, "I couldn't get you to shut up before," and now you're like, see, you're all like, quiet and mute and cryptic, and it's like so true. It's like she's such a different person from what he knew, yet somehow she's still the same person. Almost for Gendry, you know what I mean? And then, that's why she surprised him when she started throwing. That was a great little scene, too, when she's throwing the arrowheads and hitting the same spot over again in the wood. He's like, I'll get right on it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, yeah, you are no joke. And speaking of tough little girls, man, hey, Lyanna, like, they're blowing her up. I think she's going to end up on the throne when this is all
If she
done.
survives,
I mean,
I
with
wouldn't,
that
I
face-
wouldn't be surprised if
Did
she,
you see
died in
that-
Battlefield being like a soldier.
Did you see that face?
and more
Her
Montana.
face is amazing.
I know.
She has like
Yeah.
the face of no one is gonna mess with me. That's the type of face she has right now.
Yeah, she's a badass. She's a straight up badass.
Yeah, I just, it's going to be, I think Grey Worm's for sure done.
Oh
I just,
yeah, for sure, for sure. Grey Worm. I actually think Miss Sunday is gonna die too.
You think both or one or the other?
I think both of them are gonna end up dying.
This is such a gut wrenching episode because it's preparing me for the worst.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are gonna die. I mean, it might not be the ones that we're guessing, but a lot of people are gonna die.
I'll
next
tell you though,
episode.
the curve of the writing of kind of making me root for Dany to die though is getting a bit annoying because like
It's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
seriously,
It-
like,
it's
they're-
crazy because they're making Danny into like the Mad King pretty much.
Pretty much.
And
Pretty much.
it's awesome that we talked about this before about Jamie, how
Yep.
we in the beginning we all hated Jamie, and
Yep.
he goes through this character development where we actually kind of like him now, and they're doing the opposite with Daenerys now. It's like now we're
Seriously.
starting to hate
Seriously,
her.
I mean, it's just like in that moment, and it's like again they built it up like with Sam. That was the setup. The end of the last episode, and it was pretty much the end of this episode as well. Is the reveal again of the same information. But Sam brought up in the last episode when he said it. He goes, you sacrificed everything for your people. Like John said, he goes, would she do the same? And here he is telling her in private, just the two of them. You can even tell he's reluctant about telling her. He's actually giving her good information that, hey, you know what, your brother was a good person.
Right.
He didn't rape my aunt, actually my
Right.
mother. And immediately her immediate reaction wasn't, are you okay? Don't be worried about us being aunt and nephew. What do you think that means? What does that mean to you? No, none of that was, well, do you know what that means? You're gonna, you have a claim to the throne. Like immediately defensive about her position.
Right, it's defensive.
And it's just,
I mean,
goes,
you gotta admit, John didn't deliver the news, the way he should have delivered it.
He didn't, but look when the shoe was on the other foot, how he took that information.
Right.
He was very reluctant. He was very, but not defensive. You know what I mean? He was more confused and worried, you know what I mean, for the greater good, and worried for her, worried for, his people, worried for, for what that meant. And the only thing she was worried about is what it meant for her power and her position.
That's all it is.
Right.
That's all it is,
And
man.
that's what they're building us up for, and it's like
And
we're almost
it's-
rooting like, yeah, we'll be okay if she dies.
And-
Like,
and
we'll
it's
be all right with
crazy.
it.
I mean, it's getting there.
It is crazy the way they've done this, and I've been watching it. I have not rewatched the seasons. I'm gonna be honest, I have not, but I can remember that there was always hints that she was there. That craziness was always there. Nobody saw that
Yeah,
coming.
she's always had her moments. She's always had her
Yes.
moments.
Especially
And they've always-
the last. I saw the seasons right before this. Especially the last two seasons.
Yeah.
You kind of get little subtle moments of her.
Yeah.
A little bit of madness
overly
coming
cocky,
from her. a
overly
little bit of
cocky,
anger.
and borderline. I will not be questioned. I will not be, made up against, worked against, or just anything. She just has no flexibility.
She was not taking the news very well.
She's not.
I did
not.
like the scene with her and Sansa though. I thought that scene was very good.
But they went into that scene, and thank you for bringing that up, because the watch party we're grouped with, they're like, oh, she's, the olive branch, this is gonna be good. I'm like, don't forget that Sansa is also a bit of a butthole. So and sure enough, how did it end? Sansa being the butthole. really pushing. What about the North? Like, come on, like,
we don't bow down to anybody.
No, but she has a point.
Yeah. Oh no, she does. But again, it's like they're about to fight the army of the undead, the Night King.
That's not a thing.
Hell and fury is coming their way. Can we be nice to each other?
At that moment, that was not a thing for either of them to talk about. They should, that conversation should have been brought up, but it was brought up at that moment. She should have been like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out later on. Let's just concentrate on what's going to happen now." But no, she had to be like, "But what about the North? The North? Yeah. You see my accent? The North."
I don't like that Daenerys is kind of losing faith in Tyrion. I know. I mean, he's messed up a couple of times, and they were kind of big mess ups, but I don't like that she's pretty much I know. She's about to get rid of him. She's about to like fire him.
And some of his mess ups are more of her mess ups of not following through with things to an extent. It's like obviously he would have been right on Sam's family in that house,
right?
And that would have been people that would be fighting for them right now, without a doubt. Once they would have also seen the army of the undead, they would have been there alongside with Jaime, not with Cersei. And that would be more people in their fight against the Battle of the Undead. So and it was the same thing with Casterly Rock. Like, yes, he got a little bit fooled there. They were able to take care of that. It's like Tyrion makes mistakes. The Cersei one's a big one, but that got saved by his brother. And it's at the end, it's like everything that Mormont said was completely correct. It's like, yes, he makes his mistakes. I made mistakes. They've all mistakes, but a lot of them are just mistakes in her eyes.
Yeah,
right.
No,
some of
he's
them
learned from them.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
And
some of them are just
Sansa actually made it right for her. Like, he trusted her, but you also did the trusting here.
Exactly.
So who's at fault? Is it him for trusting his sister, or is it you for just trusting whatever he says?
Yes. How about not listening to him and being wrong when you don't listen to him, and then also being wrong when you do listen?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
right.
Like, it's on her as well, and it's like he's still the best man for the job.
I'll tell you what, I was worried when he said that he was like, "Oh yeah, I could survive this." He's being kind of like nonchalant about it, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna die." God damn.
I'm worried everyone in that room is gonna die. Like I'm just worried, like I think like when it was couples, are like, okay, only one of these people is gonna die, and then when it's one big room, like everyone in this room is gonna die.
That little Hobbit moment that they had in singing the song, it was like,
I just don't know now. I don't think Bran can die. I think he's too. Now they've made him too important of a piece. I mean, Bran is like he's the plan. Bran is the plan. They're putting him as the bait, and they're gonna try to fight just the Night King directly.
And look who's gonna be with him. That guy's gonna die.
Well, it's everyone. Sansa's gonna be with him. Arya's gonna be with him. Theon.
Yeah, no, Theon's gonna die. Theon's gonna die for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, it looked like Jon and Daenerys were about to jump on dragons because they looked at each other like, yeah, let's do this, and they went like, why are the two of them? She ain't fighting on the battlefield unless she's on a dragon.
Nope.
So it looks like, and that's why it was important to have that dragon scene last week, even though it was more of a romantic thing.
Right.
It was just a yada the training.
But
it was
the second viewing is not as bad. It's not as bad.
I guess I'll figure it out. I'll rewatch it, see if
I'll rewatch it and time it exactly. I'm gonna time how long I Can Show You the World in Aladdin scene is, and calculated see. I already know that's longer. That's like a whole song. It wasn't that long. It definitely wasn't.
Nah, it's not. It's not.
It might have been Avatar riding on those pterodactyl things long though. I think it was.
I'll tell you what. The best part of this episode, I think, was a break from Cersei. I just needed a break from Cersei.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure the next episode will be the same. I think it's gonna be all Battle of Winterfell, and then we'll see where they go from there. I mean, there's so many possibilities. I don't know with these writers, they could have this battle happen and then do a jump of like a year from now in the following episode. Depending on how the battle goes, they could kill everybody. I mean,
I don't think they'll do the jump.
Yeah, I'm just sitting unsure. I wouldn't put money on anything. I mean, there's bad gut feelings we got, obviously, from the setups, a lot of the setups they had in this episode, there's no way it's Game of Thrones. There's no way this is a happy ending, and everybody's making it out.
And I got to tell you, from a production standpoint, this next episode is going to be crazy. It's going to be directed by Miguel Sapochnik, and he directed both Hard Home and The Battle of the Bastards.
Oh, that's it. That's it. It's going to be nasty. It's
so
going to be nasty.
It's going to be insane. This episode is going to be insane.
So give me your for sure. Who's up for sure? One person. Just give me one person. Go. Anybody.
I'm going to go with Grey Worm.
Grey Worm. Okay.
That's a good one.
Omega?
My for sure, I'm gonna go with Eye Patch. I'm gonna go with what's his name? The 19 times or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's done.
Yeah.
I that group. I think the Night's Watch friend also is probably gonna is probably a for sure.
Oh, you mean
we'll
Ed
see.
from the Night's Watch?
Is that him? Yeah, Ed, yeah, the last friend, because they had that whole moment they were talking about, Pip and all the other guys, and then there's just the three of us left. Right. So I think he's pretty much an easy bet as well. But we know those tombs are gonna get bad.
Yeah.
And so what do you say, Yo P?
I'm gonna say they're gonna do it. I'm saying they're doing Theon this time. Next episode.
Theon, I think out of all the characters, I think they kind of rushed his story arc, and I mean, I guess if you have to pick one of the characters, it would have to be him.
Yeah.
But I think he's already at the point where they have to give him that scene where he gets back his his honor.
Yep, I think so too.
And then we'll see what happens in the tombs. I all three of us had that same bad feeling that those tombs are coming alive.
Yeah, man, and it's gonna be crazy.
There's gonna be some people in the chopping block in there. I personally think Varys is probably high on that list of possibilities, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I will say, in closing, that the memes this week will probably be even crazier than all the memes that were out.
Definitely a lot of Brienne memes all over.
I think there's gonna be a lot of Arya memes.
Yeah, Arya memes for sure. Arya Gendry memes. Brienne memes, Torment memes. Is the big woman still here? Like that's
for sure. Yeah. Torment memes. That's probably gonna take over the internet. No, but seriously, I think this episode was better than I honestly. I mean, each episode I think is gonna get better. And I think that's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think I enjoyed it, but I think me personally, I would have done it. Put a little bit more time into the last episode and just put that into it. But that was just me. I think they could have done it a little longer on the last episode, and all that could have been injected into it. But we'll see. Because I want more battle. That's all I want. I feel like it was just too much closing and too much. I don't know.
A lot of setup. I think the first two episodes they were set up, and then this next coming one, it's it's gonna be the big battle episode, and then we're gonna go back to King's Landing to Cersei, and so it'll probably be another setup, and then the end of the season, the last two episodes are gonna be probably battle I don't episodes.
know. It could be the next 4 episodes, or just obviously the next one for sure is gonna be nothing but battle, and I think after that it's probably gonna be set up with battle, and then nothing but battle.
Well,
I just think it's.
I mean, we thought about the same thing about this episode. I thought we were gonna start with battles, and we got no battles.
That is true. That is true.
But I think the setup is very important.
Yeah, I agree. After seeing it, I really felt it, because when you rewatch the episodes, and when I rewatched last week's, I really felt that, like, okay, it's gonna kind of be like pulling a Band-Aid now to watch a bunch of these people die when they just got reintroduced. Like, I better not see Ghost die next week. Like, seriously, I would be so upset if he came back for 5 seconds this episode.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Die in the next episode. That
flip
better not happen.
a table if that happens. And I'm gonna apologize to the person's whatever house I'm in. I apologize ahead, but I will flip your table, sir.
That coffee table, I might want to put that away.
Yeah, I will flip it. I'm flipping tables if that happens in the next episode.
Put an ottoman. I'll flip an ottoman.
I hope it's not a glass table.
Nothing.
It might be a baby's table or something, but I'm flipping some table.
That's my point.
Make sure the baby's not on the table.
Seriously, but that's why I'm bringing that up, though. I'm bringing up Ghost because of that. Like, I think it would have been the same feeling to, like, oh, he just got back and now he's gonna die. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
what's probably gonna happen with
Theon. I don't think that's far fetched, man. I mean, they got to pick where they're gonna use their budget. I mean, it's either these 3 dragons fighting or Ghost, and I think they're gonna lean toward dragons.
No, not
No,
ghosts.
stop it.
You just show
Stop,
me
man.
in the
Stop it.
background. I need ghosts.
Stop it. Stop it. Enough of that. So, yeah, I guess, wow, let's see what happens next week is going to be with tissue and tears and sore throats or screaming and yelling. You might hear a laptop hit the floor. I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen with our reactions.
You
next
guys-
week.
I think next week is gonna be the episode where everyone's just gonna break down. That's gonna be the
gonna be
one.
bad.
It's gonna be too shocking
It's
for
gonna
us.
be bad.
Well,
I
you-
wouldn't be surprised if
You
just
guys
one
know
of
where to
us-
find us. If you don't, listen to our previous podcast. And I think this is gonna be it for guys. Like, we can't talk anymore because I'm done.
That's it. We spoiled. We hit the high notes. We're gonna go now and watch it again, most likely, all of us, and then just follow us on social media, and you'll see our afterthoughts from there on until the next review.
Hopefully this one comes out tomorrow, so everyone could listen to it.
Oh
Hopefully.
yeah, and then Thursday's Endgame. So let's get ready
Oh.
for
Oh.
a Stark actually dying this week. So that's Omega
geez.
saying peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace, Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.